Hi, this is Megan Chapman, and this is the Tuesday Studio Video Visit. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. Please like my videos, subscribe, hit notifications, all that jazz. If you were here last week, you'll remember that I revealed this over my shoulder. And I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who has had such a visceral and excited, enthusiastic reaction to this piece. You just never know what's going to strike a chord with folks, and this piece seems to have struck a chord with you all. So I came in last week, if you remember, on Monday and Tuesday. I was researching on Thursday, and I had an event to go to, so I didn't come into the studio on Thursday. Then this weekend, I spent most of the weekend fabricating and hand painting the sort of wax seals for the base of this painting, because as you can remember, well, you can see them right there. As you can remember, the base of this painting is shredded more like an old document. If you're still unsure of what kind of document I'm talking about, you can go to my studio blog that I wrote on Friday, and you can see two examples of various documents from antiquity where they have placed these wax seals along sort of this sort of thread-like appearance of the bottom. I have tape along the bottom right now to sort of train the pieces of canvas to lay a little bit flatter. Partly this was to help me in the installation of the various seals along the bottom. So today I was kind of anxious all weekend about this piece because since it is a mixed media piece and it is of a certain size, and there were just a few little issues that I needed to address when I came to the studio today, and so that's what I did. So I'll tell you really quickly kind of a few of the things that I've worked on and what the next steps are for this piece. So this piece is, unstretched. So this is just, a raw piece of canvas that's up against my wall. So there are no stretcher bars holding it straight or holding it up. So this piece of canvas has been gorilla taped to my painting wall so I could work on it. So of course, and you can see pieces of the white gorilla tape, and half of it's black and half of it's white, because as I'm working on the piece, I'm just painting right over the gorilla tape. So of course, then that means I've got a different color underneath the gorilla tape, either the raw canvas or a stain or another color from a painting beneath. So today my first step was to come in and take off all these various pieces of tape while keeping the piece up on the wall and touch up those sections. So, that involves matching paint and various other things, which is not a problem unless you maybe don't have any more of that color. So I was a little concerned that I might not have any of this blue color in the crown, but I did. I had just enough to finish that off because there had been a piece of tape right over this bit here. So that was the first thing, to come in, pull off the tape one by one in pieces while keeping it up on the wall, matching the paint, so that now it has an overall even edge and you won't be able really to notice where the tape was. I mean, here and there you might be able to see like a pattern underneath the paint, but other than that, so that was the first thing. The second thing was to come in and work on all of these little bits here, because this is a piece of dictionary paper that's glued on top of the canvas, and then these little dots or jewels are pieces of a heavier weight canvas that have also already been collaged on top of, and making sure that those were all still adhered and gluing any extra bits or pieces that had maybe curled up, making sure that everything is adhering and has enough glue and everything's good there. Same thing along the bottom here. All of this is dictionary paper glued. So any of this is dictionary paper glued on top of the canvas. So I had to go back over it, check for any edges that had curled up, and glue down everything. And again, color matching along the corners. Say if maybe a red dot on one of their outfits was covered in tape, going over, making sure that that's fitting. So if we go down here to the bottom, you can see the seals. So I've put various seals on. Some only have one seal, some have multiple seals. And again, like I said, I've just put this tape here temporarily to help train the canvas from curling in and rolling inward so that I could adhere the seals more easily. I think I'm pretty happy with how the seals turned out. We'll see. There's still always a possibility that I could just crop the bottom of the canvas off, but that's looking increasingly unlikely. So you can get a little bit of the distance and you can see the various seals. They're different colors. Again, you can look at my Friday Studio blog to see a little tin of the various seals that I've made, imprinted and then hand painted. And then today, my job was to come in here and adhere all of those to the canvas. So that was another big step. The final step, well, there's part of me that's almost thinking about staining these little torn bits, but I think I'll just leave them as is so it looks a little bit more like parchment or what you might find in an old document or declaration. So the last step in the process then would be to varnish the piece. Normally, I would take a piece like this, of course, outside in the fresh air. It's becoming a little bit too chilly now outside to use varnish well. So also I would lay it flat so that nothing runs. This is a really large piece. I don't even right now have the floor space to lay it down flat. So, and it's too cold outside. So what I may do is very, very carefully and from a distance start spraying the varnish, because what you don't want, of course, is that the faces are drawn with charcoal. And since they're vertical, you don't want, tears of sadness if the charcoal runs. So that could be the last thing that I do today before I leave from the studio, of course, because also I don't want to stay in a room filled with this. So that's more of a technical sort of Tuesday Studio video visit. I'll be really excited to take that tape off and kind of get a better sense of what the seals all look like. I was very happy with how the seals themselves looked. It'll be interesting. I still have some more materials. If I wanted to add more seals, I could. But then again, if this is sort of a document from a certain time, you would expect seals to be missing, damaged, uneven, maybe a few places not even having seals. So these are all things to consider about the piece. So this one's gone on just a little bit longer, but I just wanted to give you all as much information as I could about the piece. Especially because so many of you are interested in the piece. So again, thank you so much for your enthusiasm and support of this work. I am anxious to start painting something new again, but also definitely dedicated to finishing off this piece as best I can. And then as far as like transporting the piece, most likely this would be rolled and sent in a tube if it was to be shipped further afield. So there you have it. That's the Tuesday Studio video visit. I hope you are well, happy, and inspired wherever you are. If not, keep fighting and take care until next time. Thank you.